Hi, I'm Paul Reavlin, the president of Revgear, and I'm here to talk to you about how to actually choose a glove. Often it can be confusing since there's so many different types of gloves out there. Picking out the right glove for the type of training you're doing can be very confusing. That being said, I'm just going to break it down to a couple key concepts. The first one is what's the difference between a bag glove and a boxing glove. You'll find here that this is a sample of a bag glove, and in this case you can see that it's much smaller than some of these boxing gloves. The bag glove is called that for a reason. It was designed for hitting the bag. You'll find that the padding is much smaller. It doesn't have a padded thumb. The thumb is open. Whereas a boxing glove has usually full protection on the thumb. This is protect your thumb and protect your opponent. In this case it has an attached thumb, so this prevents you from thumbing your opponent if you're sparring. But generally the padding on here is so thin that you generally would not use it for sparring. Some people prefer to use an actual boxing glove to hit the heavy bag and hit focus mitts, and some people just prefer to use a bag glove. When it comes to boxing gloves, there's a couple different main differences. One, obviously, these days, it wasn't so much in the older days, but now there's a big difference between a Velcro style glove and a lace style glove. The obvious difference is this has laces, so you can pull this tight and then tie the laces. And then Velcro, this simply has a wrist wrap that goes around and adheres with Velcro. The reason that's important is because most people will find, and most pros often train with a lace boxing gloves because you can pull them really tight and get a really snug fit. And that's obviously, a lot of people prefer that when they're training. But it can be very cumbersome, and obviously you can't do this once you have one glove on. It becomes very difficult to put the other glove on when you're trying to do laces, so you simply have to have someone to help you put on the gloves. With a Velcro glove, you can often put on one glove and then manage to get the other glove on and adhere it even with a gloved hand. But once you decide whether you want lace or Velcro, then you have a couple different other choices. But primarily, most people prefer the tighter fit of a lace glove, but they don't like the inconvenience of having to have someone there to help them pull it tight and tighten it the correct way and tie it the right way. Once you choose that, then you have another choice, which is the style of glove you like. You'll notice that the difference between these two gloves is its width, or its what I call it's not a side profile, but a width profile. In this case, this glove here is much wider than this glove, which is much more narrow. Some people prefer this glove because it's so narrow. They prefer it when they're sparring. It doesn't get caught on people's defenses as much, and it fits through. And also in this case, much more of the padding is centered up here on the knuckle area. So as a result, some people have a preference for this type of glove. This glove is also very popular, but it's a wider glove, and still has a lot of padding towards the front, but it's much more comfortable for the hand. And when people are wrapping their hands, which they commonly do in boxing gloves, sometimes this is a more comfortable fit. But if you have a smaller hand or like something that feels really tight on the sides, this might be a better glove for you. And if you like something that's generally just overall a wider fit and has a little bit more room and is more comfortable, this is going to be a better fit. So the glove, the profile of the glove is important, whether it's lace or Velcro is important, and obviously if it's a bag glove versus a boxing glove are important. And then the last thing I want to say about this is often you'll see people have a choice between vinyl. These gloves here, actually these gloves here are vinyl, and these gloves are leather. So I'm going to cover those details in a different video. However, it's still a decision. Usually it affects price, whether you choose between leather and vinyl. But once you choose a certain price point that you're looking for, then you're making a decision about whether you want Velcro or lace, whether you want a wider profile or a lower or more narrow profile, and whether you are choosing between a bag glove and a boxing glove.